Hello and welcome once again. We're going to look at setting up our assignment weighting or our grade weighting. So to begin with, we'd want to go to our assignments page and we would select this option up here which says group. So what we need to do then is we need to assign some group names so we can group and then weight those assignments. Now in my class I have got 5 different groups: CCC modules, module exams, code review, final exam, and lab, and then there's weights associated with each one of these. The principal advantage of doing it this way is, let's say that you want to readjust an assignment, to add points or take points to it, add a quiz or something like this. You can do that and Canvas will automatically calculate that. But at the end of the term, then when it calculates all this, whatever is in this NCCER module group, that's going to be 32% and on it goes. So we need to have this weighting figured out ahead of time before we go about building our groups page. So to build our groups page, I begin with NCCER modules, and then I want to add another group, which is Oregon Code Review, another group, which is the module exams, another group, which is the final exam, and another group which I call the lab. So we go then, we select our assignment settings, and then we select then assignment group weights. Then there's an option right here which says weighted final grade based upon assignment groups, and I select that, and so that way it will calculate values of the assignments automatically. So assignments 0 imported, assignment 0 NCCER modules, and we get this here from our syllabus where we can see our modules, module exams, code review. The imported assignments and assignments, we're going to go ahead and eventually delete those. Those are automatically generated by Canvas. So in our example here, we're going to set the NCCER modules at 32, the code review at 37, the module exams at 11, the final exam at 16, and the lab is going to be at 4. So you can see then, you scroll down to the bottom, it's very helpful. It says 100%. So, and then you would then select save. So now let's go and take a look here at our assignments page, and you can see now that all of these categories now exist. So let's go about now taking these various assignments that we have and let's put them into the appropriate categories. Let's go about moving this assignment here, Module 1 Concept Checks. We would select our options here, which is Move To, and then we're going to go into the modules portion. Now this assignment category is empty, we're not going to use it. So we can just go ahead and delete that. Let's move now let's select our imported assignments. Then we would need to go through that process then for each one of these assignments. Now there is an assignment within that group. That'll make the process a little bit easier. So the easiest way to do this that I've found is to take the target group and then just drag it right below where the assignments are that you want to move. You would then expand that assignment group, scroll down to the bottom, and then begin the process of just dragging and dropping the assignments that belong to that particular group. Now I've got all of the module assignments out, and the shortcut way of moving the code review assignments. Now you'll notice that even though we open this up and we try to move an assignment into there, it doesn't want to go. So you have to go the method to move to, and then you're going to select the code review move. Now that there is an assignment in there, and now it becomes pretty simple to just go through and enter those in to that group one at a time by dragging and dropping. Now that process is completed. All of our imported assignments are now put in an appropriate group. So we don't need this imported group anymore. So we select and then delete. OK. And so the only groups that we have now are the ones that we're actually going to use. Now that we have all of our imported assignments into the appropriate categories, if we go back over to our modules page, we'll go up here, and to make navigation easier, collapse all. We slide down here to week 11, final exam. You'll notice that there's nothing in there. Also, something else that I do in my class is the week that I have the module exams, that's a week that I also have a lab. So this is what I do in order to put a placeholder in that we can put a value in that's going to be manually graded. Over here where it's on the module exam week, you hit plus, and we need to add an assignment. We're going to create an assignment, and the assignment lab is going to be what? Fall term year 2 lab. Call it whatever you want to, and then you would then add that item, publish that item, and now we're going to edit that item. So select edit, and we need to figure out where it's going to go, and it's going to go into the lab group, display as points, and I'll just say an arbitrary value of 10 points for that group. And it is going to be, you can, if you want to, put a due date, but it really isn't all that terribly important to do that. So we save there. We go back to our modules. And now you can see that the fall term lab is there, so that it shows up on your grade book. And so that way you can then go and then put in the appropriate number of points for that lab. And you can put any number of labs on any week, any module that you want to. Now, I do the similar thing on the final exam. I'll do an assignment, and I will create an assignment. The assignment name is final exam. I'm going to indent it 3 levels. Add. So there it is. Okay, I'll hit publish. Final exam. Edit. And then you can do whatever you need to in terms of editing it. I'd like to do 64 points on my final exams, and then put that on the final exam, display as points. Now, something I do on the final exam is I'll go ahead and I will put the due date in for the final exam, and then also available from, I'll have that also then, so that way the student isn't clicking on it thinking that the student can take that exam. So the time would be, let's make it 6 p.m. is what I'm trying to do. Right, so then they can't, the student can't access the exam at all. And I want you to notice here that I made the exam on a Wednesday night. Let's change that to a Tuesday night or to a Monday night, let's say. Okay, and then we save that. We go back to our modules. And we can see then that the lab has been added to week 5, and then the final exam has been added to week number 11. Now, one last thing, it's going to be really important that you go and check all of these due dates and in settings. The best way that I've figured out how to do this is you select the syllabus option, and then the syllabus option will go through, and you can then go at a glance. Now you can go and make sure that everything is in its appropriate slot. All right, I hope that was helpful in setting up your grade weighting on Canvas.